the 40th anniversary of the Temple Beautiful, a legendary San Francisco punk rock club featuring old school bands. Fuzz Attack, the Temple Beautiful Memorial Band, the legendary No Alternative, and a reunion of the legendary punk band The Dils. That and more tonight on Reality Check TV. Tonight on Reality Check.
Right here.
Well, that was pretty damn stupid!
What planet are we in right now?
Are you the reality check? I am.
It's called reality check, man. I mean, this is real. Reality check.
This is Jean Beauvoir, and you are watching Reality Check TV. Stay tuned in.
Ready to go now, the goddamn circle, and they're going to the discotheque to go. But she just couldn't stay.
Well, here we are, bottom of the swill, and boy, it's Temple Beautiful reunion, and Geoff Pond, aka Ubu, is putting the whole thing together, and he did a slam bang job. And it was completely terrific. So you're going to see it all here. The Dils are here, No Alternative, all the usual suspects from this crew, and so stay tuned. You'll see it all here, unveiled before your very eyes. And if you were there back in the day, you were probably here with the rest of the geriatrics, including me.
This is the 40th anniversary of the Temple Beautiful, which was a space in San Francisco at this beautiful old synagogue on a very historic block. It was smack dab in the middle between the Fillmore on one side and the People's Temple on the other. Yeah, so, and a lot of people came to our shows. It was a year after the massacre, so a lot of people would come thinking they were going to the Temple Beautiful, and so we had done shows at another place called 330 Grove, and when we found the temple, it was just so amazing because it's just beautiful, and it was big. There was no, probably on the West Coast until the Olympic in LA, there was no, place that big. And unlike the MAD that ran 7 nights a week, 365 days a year, we would do, 4 to 6 shows a month, usually 4 or 5 bands. But what was also great about the building itself being big is you could have everybody like an unknown band called Flipper, who would not even be like on the poster, but wanted to play. We'd just have them start the evening off, to the Clash, the Buzzcocks, and Gang of Four did their first U.S. tour and played there. But everybody, Dead Kennedys, Wall of Voodoo, I think it's got more obscure. X played many times. No Alternative played there more than anybody. The Dils, of course, played many times. The Avengers, Mutants. I don't want to leave anybody out. Who else? There was just everybody. Dead Kennedys played a bunch of times. The Bags, Alley Cats, all the really great bands of that time. We ran from March 79 to March 81. And the only reason we left was a bunch of poser punks started coming when the scene got more publicized in the news, and they thought would be really cool. And maybe I should backstep a minute. They had a beautiful stained glass windows that came around the Horn in 1905 from Palestine. Beautiful. So some of these jerk posers thought, you got to be punk, you got to smash a window or kick a hole in the wall. Well, we lost the place, in March '81. So that's unfortunate. We moved on, 10th Street Hall, Rat's Palace, other places, International Cafe in Berkeley. But the Temple was, I don't think I would do an anniversary for those places. They were great, but this place was just so different. And all the bands loved playing there because it was probably the first time they were playing on a stage that was like 3 feet high, or 4 even maybe, I don't know. It was a good size and big. And so they were like playing it with a balcony around them. And so this was like big time, you know, and compared to the MAB and the Def Club and the Mask in LA or whatever. And so it was very exciting to play there. So right now, I'd like to introduce great contemporary old school punk band, Fuzz Attack.
I am John. And from Fuzz Attack, maybe. I'm allegedly from Fuzz Attack. Allegedly. But yeah, stoked to be here tonight. It's going to be pretty awesome. See the Dils and Temple Memorial Band and No Alternative. All that good stuff.
I mean, anywhere other than that. So, and this here is my friend Alexander. I met Alexander there at the Maboué, and he's not gonna do this.
This is a little bit of history. I remember seeing the Clash play there, and looking up, and it said Jim Jones People's Temple, and we're standing in line to get into Temple Beautiful, and I go, what the fuck is this? And that whole thing had just happened with the Temple Beautiful, and we're going to see the Clash play, and it was so iconic, and I was going like, I can't believe I'm standing here. The Clash is going to be playing, and Jim Jones People's Temple, and that whole thing they still had the sign up there. They never took it down. Wow. And I goes, someday that's going to be a really good photograph. I don't think anybody ever took a picture of it. Do you think they did?
No.
I don't know. Did you go to that show?
No, I was in New York at the time.
Oh, it was amazing. I came here in '74, so I was here in the beginning. And actually, one of the first people that I met was John Gullick from the Mutants. When I lived on Telegraph Avenue, I was going to art school, and he was going to the same school. And we're still friends. We drove here together. He said, Michael, I'll give you a ride to the club. And, you know, we worked together on other projects and stuff, doing, you know, restoration work on buildings and stuff. So John's a good friend. And when they start the Mutants, I remember when they were at First and Mission, and they said, we're going to start this band, and we're going to play a place called Maboué. And I go, sounds really kind of cool. What's the name of the band? The Mutants. I go, sounds good. I mean, that's some early history.
I'm Jill Hoffman-Kowal, and I am co-founder of Target Video.
Wow.
And we started in '77 in Oakland. And I just want to say that the night of the Sex Pistols at Winterland, we went with our Super 8 camera. We snuck it in to Winterland. We filmed the Sex Pistols, and I took some photos with my camera lens and got some good photos. But the show was pretty awesome from our perspective. We did not know what was really going on with the Sex Pistols at the time, what a bad experience it was for them. But it was a great experience for us. However, when we got home from that concert, we came to our studio in Oakland, and the last of 14 fire trucks had pulled away, and our whole studio burnt down to the ground. Oh my God. That was the change of our life. So the Target history started there, where everything we had done up until that point had been destroyed, except for a few things. And the few things that did exist or were saved was Joe's Super 8 films and his slides of his artwork and his the few videos that we had done. And after the fire, Red Cross came, gave us clothes and gave us food, and we got a little apartment to stay in for a while until we got our second space in Oakland, where we filmed the first Screamers videotape in color, we actually got a color camera, and that's the first Screamers videotape was there, filmed at the 56th Street studio in Oakland.
With what, the Temple Beautiful Memorial Jam tuba band?
That's what I've been told, yeah. So we'll see.
Okay. Geoff was telling me there's some interesting songs you'll be singing and playing.
Well, you know, everyone has their opinions. It's a free country. He's free to say that. That's how he feels about it. Temple Beautiful, nothing has ever compared before or since. It was truly remarkable, and believe it or not, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful place.
Playing some rock and roll here today. You know, we got the Dils, No Alternative, Fuzz Attack, and tonight you will witness the Temple Beautiful Memorial Band. We will be doing our thing. My debut on keyboards. You know, some T-Moon there. All right.
The lights came on, it was a whole new world at the Temple Beautiful. I got the king, but I lost the girl at the Temple Beautiful.
So I thought, hey, why don't we do a tribute to bands that played the Temple that no longer are playing? Because there are a lot of bands still playing, you know, it's great. So we came up with songs by Suburban Lawns, Tuxedo Moon, one of the greats, and we're doing a couple songs by them, The Plugs, and we're doing a special tribute to many musicians that played the Temple. Jim Carroll played there, the Jim Carroll Band, you know, people who died. So we're doing the people who died, and we're running a list of names of all the many people, unfortunately, very long list of people that have died over the years, and so we're going to read that as part of the tribute on that song.
Crime, Breaking Fix, Ridley Black, Johnny Strick, from Flipper, Will Shatter, from the Off, Chris Holston, and of course Don Vanell. The Sleepers, Tim Beauty, and of course Ricky Williams. The Buzzcocks, the late great Pete Shelley. Minimal Man, Patrick Miller. The Clash played the Temple, and let's remember Joe Strummer. And from the great Tuxedo Moon, 2 years ago this month, the late great Peter Principle. From the Victims, Dinah Crawford. From SDC, Brian Marnell. From Versus, Olga, just Olga. And of course, the Jim Carroll Band, Jim Carroll. And tonight we're honoring the great photographer, Bobby Castro. Unfortunately, this last year and a half, a lot of amazing musicians who played the Temple have passed. Starting out with DOA's Randy Rampage. And then last Christmas Eve, we lost the great Avengers and Chris Isaac, great guitar and bass player, Jimmy Wilsey. Incredible. And then last but not least, the Dils. We lost William and Zippy Sotomayor. And last, but not very least, the person from punk rock, the late great 19 Tony KInman.
We got a really good lineup of people that play in other contemporary punk bands. And Greg Langston, who's played with everybody, is our drummer, which is really amazing, and very thrilled with that. And so it's real good cred.
Thank you, everybody.
Right, there she is.
Temple Beautiful, I remember it.
Yes.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I loved playing there. It was fantastic.
How many times did you play there?
I want to say twice. How many times did the Avengers play Temple Beautiful?
4.
Professional memory. The keeper of my memories, because I don't have to keep them anymore.
There you go.
Yeah. 4. He says 4, so I'm going to go with 4.
All right, let's go with 4.
But I liked it. It was also the last place we ever played.
Really?
Except, no, maybe it was the third to last show of the Avengers was Temple Beautiful. And it was fun.
How many times were you at Temple Beautiful?
Geez, man, I don't even remember now. I'd have to go back and look at my old records or something. I don't know what the fuck. Anyway.
Oh, no!
What's up, brother? This is it. This is it. The return of the punk rock era. We're going to bring back the whole thing. All the bands. And we're going to stop before we get to new wave. It's just going to be all hardcore. We're just going to I actually have a memory that I opened for No Alternative, but back in the day. But No Alternative does not have that memory. So, I don't know. It could be just a pot dream, but
Could be.
I was there. I probably was there at the show anyway. If I wasn't on stage.
Right.
But don't ever forget Dirk Dirksen.
Dirk Dirksen, of course.
Okay? He's the king. He the king. Always. There is no other king.
So what the fuck's up, Hugh?
Me, I'm up. Up and ready to play.
No Alternative 40 years later?
Yes,
Oh
No
my
Alternative
God.
40 years later.
With the Dils, huh?
With the Dils.
Wow.
With the magnanimous Chip KInman.
If I knew it was going to be that good, I would have showed up.
I would have showed up too.
Yeah.
This is actually a holographic image. Writing new stuff for No Alternative.
Really?
And some side projects, yeah.
Oh, wow. So you got some new stuff coming out. Where can we find it?
Well, it's going to go through Die Laughing Records, except for I'm doing a project with my cousin Rob Patterson, who's a guitar player for Korn, and we're doing kind of an industrial metal project. All the tracks have been laid, all the basic tracks have been laid. We're just doing some overdubs and getting ready to do the mix down. It's kind of like a wickeder version of Ministry.
I'm Max Volume, world's best guitarist, from the Naked Lady Wrestlers. Don't bother to look them up.
So how many times were you at the fabulous Temple Beautiful?
Oh, every night for a couple of years, it seems like. I can tell you that I I had my Volkswagen stolen out from around the corner of the temple. That was great fun. I don't know what show it was, but let's see. I also had my wallet stolen there.
Ah. Was it in the Volkswagen?
No, it was not. No, it was in my jacket.
I see.
What else? I saw the huge light stand up on the stage fall into the crowd, and the hippie sound man get all upset about it. And that guy, that hippie sound man guy, everybody hated him. That's what I remember.
I see.
Let's see, what else? I remember that in the entrance when the place was full of people and they were all trying to herd them through the thing, I would always go, "Meh, meh." And it really added to the ambiance of the crowd. Anyhow,
very nice.
Those are my reflections on the Temple Beautiful.
But your man, he's your best friend. When you've been played up right. The man's got many friends. Down the cold on ice. All your problems really solved. Or when you're in the country. Living life like a fucking Sunday. Winter every day.
It's E4, E5, 9F3, 9C6. Bishop B5. That's the opening you want to play for white. Otherwise known as the Roy Lopez or Spanish opening.
All right, thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
Cheers, the famous Ruby Ray. What's going on, darling?
Close it down or anything.
Yes, we're all here to party.
Party, party, party. Just like the Target day.
Seniors party, and if they're lucky, they don't fall down.
He's got a walker. That's a good sign.
No cost to him.
I saw the Dils perform the first time when I was 5 at the Mabuhay. My dad took me. My dad's name is Nico. You might know him, but he took me to see the Dils. He was managing them, and he took me to the Dils, and somebody spiked my drink with something, and my mom got really mad at my dad anyway. But I've been waiting 33 years to see them.
So what's happening here with the Dils?
Well, we're doing a show, our first show in San Francisco in about 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm really, it really means a lot to me to come back and come to San Francisco and play the show. Means a whole lot. And it's probably going to be the last Dils show for another 40 years, so we'll see. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe when I'm 101, I'll come back and do another one.
There you go. That sounds good. That sounds
Should be good, yeah.
History of the Dils and history of the Dils with the Temple Beautiful.
Well, we were a punk rock band from Carlsbad, California. Put out a first record in 1977. Moved to San Francisco in 1977 and became a fire-breathing commie San Francisco punk rock band. And we started playing the Temple Beautiful as one of the few venues that opened up once the stranglehold of the Mabuhay Gardens was broken. And I loved playing the Temple. Great stage, great people, great sound, lots of fun. It was good to get to someplace different than the Filipino nightclub. pretty much stopped in 1979. Our last record, Sound of the Rain, came out in 1980. You know, it was recorded at the end of '79, came out in 1980, and we figured, you know, it's hey, we started punk rock and we're done, and we went on. My brother Tony and I went on to play country music. Yes, with Rank and File.
And another band called Unshakable Nightmares, which is led by this young man right here, Steve.
Hi, what's up?
Rank and File lasted about 6, 7, 8 years or something, and we did well. Then we got tired of playing country music, and we formed a noise band called Blackbird. It was Tony and I in a drum machine, and we did that for 6, 7, 8 years or something. Then we got tired of doing that, and we formed a cowboy band called Cowboy Nation. Yes. Yes. And about a year ago, Tony passed away, and now we're here. My band, it's my son plays drums, Giuliano Scarfo, he plays drums, and his friend from school, Brian Melendez, plays bass. Yeah, so I got a couple 23-year-olds behind me, and they keep it honest, that's for sure. Yeah, and fast. Reissues are coming out all the time. We just put out a 22-song compilation of unreleased material from mine and Tony's 4 bands, Dils, Rank and File, Blackbird, Cowboy Nation, and the Blackbird stuff's coming back out on vinyl, and most of the records are in print, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting, you know. I was always there at the beginning of things, so people still want the records.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Another amazing story right here on Reality Check TV. No cost to you. So, once again, I never know what's going to happen because you never know what's going to happen, etc., etc. So I'm going home making pasta. Good night.